Turning the Axis of the World is an exhibition that responds to our current times. In your science or geography lessons, you may have learnt about the Earth's axis, which is an imaginary and invisible line around which our globe rotates, and this is assumed to be something stable or fixed. The title of this exhibition explores the idea of this axis being overturned, causing great disruption and instability in the world, which in a way is what we are experiencing today in the midst of the pandemic and other world events which question how we live, work, and relate to one another. At the same time, this overturning of the world order could be seen in a positive way, in that it opens up new possibilities and new ways of doing things. One of the works in this exhibition which sums up these ideas is by artist Tiravanage. You can find this work and its companions at the entrance of the gallery and in its corners. They're a bit like the cardinal points of a compass, mapping out the exhibition space. Rigrit was inspired by a work of science fiction which described traveling to another world, and he has created these silver portals that suggest an opening to another world, a galaxy of unlimited possibility. In front of these silver portals, he has placed pedestals like a world axis, and on top of these stands, he has placed various objects. Some of these are quite playful and humorous and make you wonder what he was thinking of and why he chose these objects. There is, for instance, a bowl of ramen as well as a bonsai plant. Perhaps these are the things or experiences he wants you to remember before leaving this world and entering another one. Why do you think he chose these objects, and what would you take with you if you had to time travel? Close by, you will find another work by Rigrit in the form of a turtle shell. In many cultures and myths, and also in some popular fantasy books like Terry Pratchett's Discworld, it is believed that the world is carried on the back of a giant turtle. However, this turtle seems to have retreated into its shell, suggesting that all is not well with the world. This brings me to another idea I would like to introduce, which establishes a link between our world and the cosmos through the use of symbols drawn from the natural world. The term I would like to introduce is Excessmundi. Excessmundi is a Latin term which means world's axis and is used to refer to symbols that represent the center of the world where the earth connects with the heavens or the sky. In many cultures, the Excessmundi is represented by a mountain or a tree, and these are considered sacred. We can see some of this imagery coming through in this work by artist Ashley Bickerton. His mountain is set in a surrealistic and magical landscape with a green-colored sky. The mountain is studded with these spheres which suggest many planets or perhaps holes and gaps, implying the damage done to the natural environment. Close by is another work by Ashley Bickerton which talks about the damage done to the natural environment due to human activities leading to pollution. A similar idea is expressed in another work by Hema Upadhyay, which presents us with a red, scorched landscape suggesting desolation and barrenness. This work reminds me of the bushfires that raged through Australia earlier this year. The artist has suggested that mankind's encroachment onto the natural world is responsible for this destruction, as can be seen by the wooden structures creeping into the landscape. These are important messages for our times. It has been suggested that the reason for the pandemic, which has affected so many lives worldwide, was due to mankind's exploitative relationship with the natural world. Furthermore, scientists at NASA, the American agency that researches science and technology related to space, have discovered that the Earth's axial motion is affected by climate change, so the turning of the axis of the world is in fact very real. I would like to end this introductory tour of the exhibition by bringing you to the work of artist Tepe Kaneuji. Tepe has created these shaped objects as well as drawings that appear floating or suspended in space. They are also all mixed up together. They are objects that don't appear to have any apparent relationship to one another, but they're all floating in space together. These works remind me of the situation we are in now. Everything is up in the air and the order of things has been destabilized. And now everybody is waiting to see what will happen when the pieces fall. What kind of world order will we have when these jumbled up pieces land into place? In the meantime, how do we make sense of this disorder? These are questions that I feel are very important for us to ask, now that we are in a moment of suspension or limbo as we bid goodbye to a world we once knew and prepare to enter a new one, where the rules are still changing or being made up as we go along. The artists whose works I've talked about in this show have expressed these ideas in vivid and creative ways, and I hope you will uncover more stories and more layers as you explore this exhibition on your own.